Listen, YouTube, I hope you're all doing well. Hope you all staying locked in on this grind week. It's Thursday, and most of you only have one more day of work this week. But for the rest of us, we grind in daily, every day. So, listen, besides the point though, I just wanted you all to know something that I've been locked in with lately, and something that I've realized, and it's taken me 31 years to realize it. It's taken me this long to realize it. But listen, if y'all have evildoers that are surrounding you, if y'all have people who you've had to cut out of your life for a reason, there's a reason for that. Okay? Protect your peace, protect your boundaries. If y'all need to get some new friends, get some new friends. If y'all need to go, especially you guys out there, if y'all need to go lone soldier, if you need to go lone wolf, if you are not social, if you do better in the building stages in silence, if you do better by yourself, if you do better surrounding yourself with people who get you, yes, you want to stick with that and include those people and keep the people that didn't work out, okay? I understand that there are some unhealthy people out there, but listen, aside from that, right, there is a vision here. And like a lot of you are just saying it just to say it. And I hear it just to hear it. You know, people say that, yeah, every day's a good day. You know, I'm living it out. You know, they say the words, but they don't live it. But there are those of us out there who we do say it maybe. Maybe we don't even say it. We just say things that reflect the stages of actually living this thing out in front of us. You all who are actually living it are incredible. So thank you. But what I've come to realize is that, yeah, there are going to be some phantoms around you, some demons, you know, some people who walk in your path on a daily basis. They will intersect you. And it is up to you in this life, through everything that you do, to make a difference in the things that you do. It is up to you to make a difference. Okay, because there's all these people out here doing the same thing. They're getting stressed out. They're reacting negatively when someone cuts them off in traffic. You know, they're pulling a weapon out and hurting somebody because somebody said one thing and somebody did another. I need y'all to be the difference maker in this life. I need y'all to be the person who does the right thing. Okay, spreads positivity, stays locked in. I understand there's going to be some times where you need to stand up for yourself. That's the one thing that I've realized that I have not always done is stand up for myself in the right way. It just, in a way that demands respect. You know, that is important to do. But being the change in a world full of evil, in a world full of wrongdoing, you need to be the impact. And I don't mean that in a cheesy way. You need the people who come across you to see the difference. Okay? If you're a truck driver, and there's millions of truck drivers out there, and you're going out there, you know, maybe you have a dog on the road with you, and you're making stops to, you know, orphanages or to reach out to kids who, you know, don't have joy in their life or have cancer. Maybe you want to make a difference, and you have a sweet companion with you, and you want to make an impact on their lives, and you know, so you stop and you go out of your way to make that impact. You're making a difference. Yes, there's millions of truck drivers around you. in this world. But you're going to set yourself apart because you're doing something different. Okay? I've met a lot of people who just say good things, but they're not, like, they don't live that out, the good doing, okay? I understand that some of you are you're busy, you're in relationships, and you're married, and you and your spouse may be different people, and I get that. And there's no time and this and that, but there's time. Because you still have your life and they still have theirs. Okay? That goes for your friends, that goes for your, the people you interact with. Your customer base. Yes, it's our job to take care of people, okay, and make the difference. Lock in, okay? I've found that locking into that positivity just gives me the high I need to get through life. Yeah, you might lose the house, you might lose the cars, you might lose your job, you might lose some of the clothes on your back. You might have to give up some things to Goodwill. You might have to donate some of your time to the church, the community, the clubs that you're in. You might have to volunteer at your local fire department. You might have to help that neighbor, with their deck until it's done, you know what I mean, out of the goodness of your heart. But listen, and I get it, y'all been burned in the past. Yeah, so have I understand that. But it's your job to find your people out here, because there's so many people that you can reach. And you need to convey that to people. Sometimes you just need to talk to people in a way that they understand, by helping them and assisting them, going out of your way to do something that somebody else would never do for that person, or in an environment where they wouldn't expect it. Go the extra mile. Okay? Now, there are going to be some people in this world too that take advantage of that. I am somebody who tends to go the extra mile for people out of love, because I like to put people above myself a lot of times. That's why in this phase of life, I've become so secluded and selfish with my time, who I let in. But I've also found, like I said, those wrong people are not for you. That's fine. But you need to reach out to people still and find the right ones. Stay locked into that, because it's your responsibility to make a difference. People need that. People literally need you. You are literally needed, valued, wanted. Okay? I had somebody in my family recently, right? I don't want to get into too much detail because I'm not allowed to say certain things, but somebody in my family who was part of this whole government shutdown ordeal, because they were employed with the government. And out of a million, they were one of the people who was called to stay based on seniority and their calling and who they are as a person, right? Who was called into work. Actually, even earlier than usual. Say, hey, we need you. Called them up. Say, hey, we need you, so-and-so here. And I have all the respect in the world for this person. But what I told them was, listen, I'm glad you showed up today. I'm glad they called you in early, because you're valued. You're understood by me. I get you. And I appreciate all the things that you do. I said, it's nice to be valued at the job. It's nice to feel like your presence is needed. They told that person, we need you here. We're calling upon you in this time of duty. And that's an incredible thing. That's what we need to be for ourselves, our community, for the right people, not for the wrong people, not for the people that are going to take advantage of that, not for the people that 99% of your time you don't even see, that you would never come to a point where y'all would even dare to spend any type of valuable time together. No. I see people walk in and out of these, for example, like here where I'm at, doctor's offices, right? And they're so busy and tied in with their lives that they don't just stop and reach out to people, and I want you to know that everything you were created for is for this reason. The energy that you're putting out, what you think in your mind, your thought process, is going to determine how your life goes, how much you enjoy your life. Because if you are not in alignment with your purpose, if you are not in alignment, if your mental is construed and you're doing the wrong things, you're hanging out with the wrong people, you're not reaching out to your community, you're not doing your service by making a difference, making a change, making an impact, walking in that daily, being that person, living that person, who that person entails out. There are a lot of people who don't do that. And I was one of them. And sometimes I still am one of them. But I am living a different life now based upon choice. Making different decisions, reaching out to people, making an impact. If you're not in alignment, though, it doesn't matter how far to the top you get, how many material things you get. It's not going to feel right. I know it because I've been there and it sucks. It doesn't feel right. It feels off because you have the wrong people surrounding you at the wrong time and you're just relying on material to get you through. I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people will tell you who have been alive a long time on this earth. Those things are not important. But if you're trying to get to the top, you better make sure you're in alignment when you get to the top. Because if you're just misconstrued and you're off kilter, your emotions are crazy, you're not going to be the person who you're meant to be. But if you're walking in alignment, especially in seasons of lack, maybe in your highest, most successful season, granted, success doesn't matter. We put different titles on it, right? Success does not matter. Because it matters to you because of what you say it is. Okay? And if you're going to put a pinpoint on it, I don't think that success matters. But I used to. But your success, you're getting there, you're making it to the top, whatever. Your whole meant to be, your whole I am is walking in that. It's your highest self, your lowest self, walking together as one. It's all of the positive experiences and all of the negative experiences. Combining that into one person based upon lessons, values, the extremes, and walking in an abundant mindset and making a difference, making a change. Some people, they choose to just live their lives. Okay? They put the pieces together and they say, hey, I'm moving to Europe. I'm starting a new life. I'm walking in that. I've seen many people do that. And that is the power that mindset has. They literally flip a switch, snap a finger, boop, boop, and their life's completely different because they've chosen to walk in that. But I wanted y'all to know that It's up to you to make the change. And you can't enjoy that success if you're not walking in this space where you've reached a middle ground with yourself. You've reached a level of peace, a level of contentment. Because it won't hit the same. You won't enjoy it. Why do you think that a lot of people who are at their rock bottom, a lot of them just have smiles on their faces all the time. They make every day an incredible day. You know, they reach out and help people, even when they don't have much to give. It's because they're walking in their alignment. Their alignment is figured out. It's together. It's one. They found a way to take the two extremes and walk in that. Except instead of, let's say, moving to Europe or living their dream life, they chose to be of service to the community and make a difference, make an impact. Some people make sacrifices to make a difference for everyone in the world. You know what I mean? Look at Martin Luther King. Look at Abraham Lincoln. You know, two great examples of people who pushed aside their selfish values but spoke in what they believed and made a difference and a change. Okay? And I'm just telling y'all, you got a duty. And it's up to you to figure out what your gifts are and this and that. But by all means, please, just sit down with yourself for a few minutes a day and figure out how you're going to walk in this space. Because it's a gifted space. And it all happens here, man. You know, that the eyes deceive. I used to go off of like what I saw with my eyes, and you know, the eyes deceive. You gotta make the vision happen. Okay? I know people who don't have a dollar to their name that are the happiest, and I wish I could be as happy as they are some days. But that is the pot, the golden pot at the end of the rainbow, the pot of gold. You know, that's what it is. Am I lying? No. That's what it literally is. That's literally the goal. Okay? You know, and I hate to break it to you and sugarcoat it, but you know, this is why we praise LLCs, because corporations are not looking out for you. But stay locked in. Do your duty. Do your due diligence. Do your research on who you need to push out of your life, who you can trust. It's hard to trust people. I understand that. But live in this. Okay? Lock in. Do your duty. And make sure you go out there and make a difference in this world. Because there are people that are watching. And God's watching. He sees you. Y'all are loved. Y'all are appreciated. You know, I think y'all have something. You have a story to tell, and y'all have something to say, and I want to listen to it. But I'm also coming from a space where a lot of people don't care what I think. They don't want to listen to me. But, and once you all lock in, ladies and gents, you can make a difference. Okay? Love y'all so much. Have a great one. Peace.